Welcome to the Primary PE Lead podcast, the go-to show for all things primary physical education and swimming. I'm your host, Sam Horton, bringing you practical tips, expert insights and real talk to help you lead PE with confidence, energy and impact. Whether you're on the field, in the pool or planning your next lesson, we've got you covered. Let's dive in.
Stop and think. Is it safe to get in the water? Stay together.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't, if you've got children with you, keep them in arm's length. Don't go swimming on your own. Make sure you tell somebody where you're going and what time you're going to be back. If you do fall in, float and breathe until you can catch your breath, and then either swim to the side or shout for help. And then obviously the fourth one is call 999. And if you see somebody in trouble, you don't jump in and save them. You call 999 and then talk them through trying to keep them calm.
Joe, what kind of tools could I bring into my teaching locker to try and get the active learning time nice and high to go and do loads of whips or be as active as possible?
So you could get a helper in the pool, a young helper that wants to help you out, and, you know, mentor them by the side of you. As long as they're under your instruction and they're sensible, you could get another swimmer going across as well.
SwimwithJo. They're a swim school based in Leicestershire, England, providing swimming lessons for all ages and abilities. They use the Swim England Learn to Swim programme, stages 1 to 7, as their curriculum. They emphasise fun, safe, inclusive learning. Learning to swim should be a fun experience for everyone. The swim school established in 2021 when all three separate swim schools come together: Swim with Joe, Tammy Swim School and Swim with Tracy. Thank you so much for coming on, both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's an absolute pleasure. Now, I've noticed I've only got two. Where's the third one?
She's working at a pool, so she wouldn't finish till about. She's got to do the dilution because we decided we'd all take our pool plant course because we have sole exclusivity of this beautiful private pool in Quenninborough, and one of the conditions was we had to do everything. So we had to do that painstaking pool plant course for a week. And so she'll be doing the dilution and she'll be doing all that. So that's why she's not here.
Mine's out of date now. I had to do mine a few years back. I remember doing that, the pool plant course. What I'd like to dive into first is a little bit about yourself and your own journey. So can I start with you first, Joe?
I moved to Loughborough and went to college here to do art and design and started working at the Loughborough Leisure Centre, got a job behind the bar, and then I followed into teaching, and it's just followed me through life. I've had numerous jobs, part-time jobs, but my love of teaching swimming has always been there. So I just love it so much. And I've got to 55 and I'm still doing it. So I must love it.
Fantastic. And with yourself as well, please, Tracy?
I was a travel agent and was made redundant. So at that time, I loved going to the gym. Not, I can tell, not so much now. And decided that I'd work at the leisure centre the same, but a different one to Joe. And I was on reception, got talked into becoming a lifeguard. So I started lifeguarding. Then sat there watching the swimming lessons and thought, I can do that. So put myself on a level 1 and level 2 combined course, did it all in one go and passed. And then I'd been passed about a week and Joe contacted me via Tammy because I knew Tammy from the leisure centre, and Joe said, can you come and help me out on Saturday? I need some cover. So that's when my fate was sealed.
Yep.
Never not worked with this since then.
I remember doing the intense course, the level 1 and 2 combined, and it literally is intense. Proper busy. What was the provision like for swimming when you were younger, at primary school or secondary?
I went to school at a local primary school to where I am now, and we had a little tiny swimming pool, and I learned to swim at school with that in their school pool. Hence now it's a dance studio and it's all been covered up. So I was very lucky. I think I had lessons, quite regularly at school.
How about yourself, Joe?
I can't remember having school swimming. My dad taught me to swim, but then I had an amazing teacher my mum and dad lived in Peterborough at the time, and we had this amazing teacher in Breton, it's quite it's a bit of a rough area now, but in Peterborough, and I'll always remember this teacher. She was she was just, oh, you just remember these teachers. They're so inspiring, and I just became really really good at swimming. I'm not like a fast swimmer, but I think I'm a more endurance swimmer. I could swim a long time. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't think I can't remember having school swimmers. My mum and dad obviously paid to have me swimming lessons.
Well, I just remember, like, when I was at primary school, it was just a negative experience for me.
Oh,
I went to, I did it in, I think it was like year two or year three, and it was only for a handful of weeks. And I just had the fear factor. And I think that's probably one of the things that I try to do now as a swimming leader, swimming teacher, is that I just want to make sure that our children have the complete opposite and have that fun and that love and passion for it, because I want them to go home and tell their parents and guardians that I can't wait till next week. So maybe
yeah,
that's my drive and passion.
yeah.
What I would like to do is talk about Swim with Joe and how you guys all merge together. What is Swim with Joe, and what does it entail?
Joe had Swim with Joe, and Tammy was Tammy's swim school, and I was Tracy's swim school. And no, I wasn't. I was Swim with Tracy. That long ago.
Yeah,
And we all worked for each other. So I worked for Joe, and I also worked for Tammy, and Tammy worked for me, and we all helped each other out. And then we went into COVID, and what happened then was me and Joe did a bit of work together and had our own sessions, and Tammy and Joe had their own sessions. And when we came out of COVID, the accountant went, I'm really sorry, but we're not having all these different accounts. This is ridiculous. You're paying 3 sets of insurance, 3 sets of this. Payroll, the contracts changed with employing staff. So we just thought, right, okay, that's it then. We're all going to join together. So we came out of COVID on April 2021. We became the 3 of us, and we all worked together, and everything all joined up. And we started at that point. I think we have 200 swimmers between us, I think now,
yeah,
and we're just gone over 2,000 now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's been
yeah,
a ride.
It is. So,
yeah.
Joe, if I was looking at your the overall business, what kind of things would you deliver? I know you deliver school swimming, but what other things could I get from the company?
I'm severely dyslexic, so I know what it's like to have a disability, and we teach a lot of SEN children, even SEN adults. So we want to make sure that we are really inclusive. I'm really passionate about having children and adults with disabilities. It doesn't matter. I mean, we've got a lifeguard that's only got one arm, haven't we? We've
Yeah.
just employed him. He can still do the job. It's so when we're looking at the swim school, when somebody sees it, I hope they read that it doesn't matter what ability they are or who they are, that we will teach them to swim.
We do the full Learn to Swim programme right the way through, from Discovery Ducklings through 1 to 10. We've got our own Aqua Athletes programme, which diverses into water polo, and Joe does, what's it called, artistic swimming now, not synchronised swimming, artistic swimming. And me and Joe are monofin trained. We throw
Yes.
the odd mermaid party in every
See
now
them?
and then.
Oh yeah, yeah. When they turn up and they say, "Can I put that tail on?" and they turn up and they go, "They can't. They're probably only a stage 2. Well, you've got to be a stage 4 to put a monofin on." Do you remember, Tracy?
Oh God, yeah.
So we get our kit on. We have to get in the water with them. Yeah. So
We do
we
level
also,
water lessons, don't
yeah,
we?
we do level water. I've just come back from somebody's house. I teach these 2 boys at their private pool in their house. So we go to people's houses and
We've got
teach
a
swimming.
nursery. A nursery comes to us and a nursery comes in a little minibus with their little 3-year-olds, and all come in with their little onesies.
Their little bags and their wellies, and then they put it all in the bucket, all their clothes, knickers, socks. They're always losing socks and knickers. Then they get changed, and then they go get on the minibus. It's so cute.
Well, we've done quite a lot of things for charity, haven't we? We've got
Steps.
Steps come to us, which is a charity in Loughborough, with children with life-changing disabilities.
Disease, yeah.
And
So, yeah, they come. Who
tell
else?
us about Garrett's Hay.
Oh, yeah. So last year we went to Garrett's Hay. It's a military base. It's very, very well secured. helicopters land there, and it's the refugees live there. They house the refugees there, and we went in for, was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
2, I think. 2 weeks we went
Two.
in.
2 weeks. We just got a load of staff. Obviously, we didn't pay the staff; they had to do it voluntary, and we went and taught these children right up to 18-year-olds, and the guys were like standing above us. They were 18, and I said to this guy, he was 17 or 18. I said, "Can you swim?" He went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Well, he got in the pool and he just went down. He just went down. He couldn't swim. He just, but by 2 weeks, they were swimming 25
Yeah.
meters from deep to shallow. I tell you what,
Wow.
all the staff said it was the most rewarding experience that they'd done.
Well, I've seen here as well that you focus on that water safety initiative, 17 water safety assemblies across 17 schools,
That was last year.
5,500 children in Leicestershire as well.
That was
Yeah.
last year. This year we did 7,000.
A bit more about that initiative then, with that water safety.
So, have you seen the Swim England Oscar the Otter water safety?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So basically, we went through to any provision that wanted it, and we did guides, brownies, went into primary schools, nurseries, SEND provisions, and delivered an assembly with Oscar the Otter video included, and just talked about the local area, where what things they need to do to be safe, what they'll do in certain scenarios. Went through the safety code, stop and think, stay together, float, and call 999. And we went to the nurseries, and we got them all laying on the floor in big star floats, and so last year we did 3,000, over 3,000. This year we did. My target was 10, but I did 7,000. So over a 4-week period, but it was extremely rewarding. We do it every year, and it's just all three of us get a massive self value from it. If we could just save one child, that's worth it.
Well, we're very lucky within our school. We have a pool on site. So in years 3 and 4, they have it all year round. And in years 1 and 2, I focus on, I call it aqua splash, and that's all to do with water confidence, getting them ready for the transition for years 3 and 4. And in years 5 and 6, I'll just focus on interventions to get them passed on any children that haven't passed the outcomes. Yeah. So we tick off all the boxes. But one of the things that's really effective is when you do a dry lesson. And a water safety dry lesson is so effective. Like doing a help position or huddle position or anything like that. Reach rescue as well. It's so good. And we talk about obviously water safety codes during Drowning Prevention Week, but we talk about it all the time as well. Get it into their heads. It was only just today when we was really focused on beach flags, because within our catchment area, some of our schools, children have never been to a beach before as well. But it's just giving them that extra knowledge is important. Joe, why do you think the water safety code and the beach flags is so vastly important for young children?
Like you just said, because they don't know about it. So, if it just saves one child's life, like the red flag, danger, stop, don't enter the water. Even the adults, when we did, some of the adults don't know about it. It's just so important to spread the word. We went on the radio, Leicester, Pudsey Bear. We did all that, the water safety, didn't we?
Yeah, with Children in Need, we did, didn't we?
Children in Need. I taught one of the radio presenters on Radio Leicester. I taught him to swim a bit more, because they all had to swim how many miles between them?
Didn't they have to swim 1,000 miles? 1,000 miles as a group, not each. So they all clocked up, and we did that, didn't we? That was amazing. That was a nice thing. That was a fun day, weren't it? We had to be there. What time? 5 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous.
Oh,
We have to be at Enderby Leisure Centre. Oh my lord, yeah. Things we get ourselves involved in. It's
yeah. So on Thursday, I went to, it's called Youth Up. It's been 2 years in the making, and I've got to attend 4 training sessions, and it's for Leicester and Rutland, and it's to help young people who have not been able to bridge the gap with apprenticeships, or dropped out of education, or maybe have gone down the wrong path, maybe have got into trouble with the law. There was lots of big authorities there, and we did lots of scenarios around the table. you met all these different people. I met people from housing. I met people from refugee. I met a lady that does a well-being class for women only. And one of the things that came out of that, everything it always came back to, is the school system, the primary school and the secondary school, is so out of date. It's the same. I'm 55. It's the same when I went to school. In fact, it's probably worse. So there was a guy on our table and he was deaf, and he was 52, and he said it's like he called it a dinosaur. He's just said it's the same. Put provisions in for, being inclusive with SEND children, with deaf children. They wanted to send him to a SEND school, a unit school. He's, I can't remember what he was. He's got quite a high powered job, but he was there on behalf of the deaf authority for the deaf people, and that's what kept coming up. And it made me think about swimming. It made me think about swimming back in my day. The education system, I think, there's no, teaching you how to deal with money or mortgages or anything like that. Or there's a big thing about entrepreneurship, starting your own businesses in schools. Not everybody's academic. Not everybody's going to go down that path of being a doctor or a nurse or a policeman. We've got all these young, children. Yeah, that's one of the things that's came out of it.
We're hoping
Yeah,
to support bring swimming into the equation, aren't we?
yeah,
Into bringing these children, adults, crossover,
yeah,
giving them
yeah,
some things to do. We encourage, so a lot of our swimmers have become pool assistants that have then become lifeguards, that have then become teachers. We've got mums, we've got 3 generations in teaching lifeguarding and stuff. So we're very big in bringing people up. I mean, we've just had an email in from one of our swimmers from about 5 years ago, haven't we?
yeah,
It's just
yeah, we
done
have.
their MBLQ and please can they come and work for us? And it's just lovely to
Yeah,
see that we've instilled that, excitement and love for the swimming, that people want to come back and continue it. That's the biggest. I love that. I love the fact that they all want to stay with us and continue.
One of the things that I've learnt as a swimming lead is that the buzz you get from how children progress as well rapidly,
Yeah.
getting rid of that fear factor, and as soon as you get rid of the fear factor, they do progress quite rapidly. And that's the thing, though. I think there's so many little easy little wins that you see as a swimming teacher rather than a PE teacher. So within one lesson, if I could get a child who's petrified and at the end of the lesson they can do a float and regain feet, they've progressed and they got rid of that fear factor. Or by the end of the half term they can do front paddle without a woggle. That's still an easy win. There's so many different, it's such a vast curriculum, it's such a massive curriculum as well. And there's so many things that you can achieve within that. I would like to move on to the national awards before we have an open discussion about school swimming. So the national awards 2024, I'm very lucky to have the swim school winners over here, and I won the school swimming. So we've got 2 gold award winners here. We've done it. We've done it.
yeah.
How did you feel on the day, and how did you feel when you got the name Swim with Joe have won gold? Was it like, yes, all this hard work, I find it, we've been recognised?
I think we
Go
all
on, you
burst
go.
into tears, didn't we?
Uh,
I burst into tears, I think.
yeah, yeah. I think Tammy said she watched the video back over, and she said it was like shock. We were all in shock, and then I looked at Tracy, and we were all looking at each other, thinking that it might have been a mistake or something. But then we had to get up on stage. In fact, I've got the award here.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, mine's at the office.
So I've got the
That's
awards.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's on my. Every time I make a cup of tea, I look at it and I think, oh yeah, well done me. Because no, you got to pat yourself on the back when you can.
100%, 100%.
But it was a
Yeah,
massive achievement. It does sort of give you a little bit of validation, I think, for
Yes.
all the hard work that you put in. You don't, it is very self-rewarding, but it is quite nice as to be recognised for the hard
yeah,
work you do put in.
Mm.
You know, nobody sees the bits that you do outside other than teaching a lesson.
yeah,
But yeah, it was an amazing, amazing experience, and I can't believe we've been nominated again this year, and we were just like, ooh,
yeah.
It's going to be
Massive
sitting
good
at that
luck.
table again going, oh no, oh no.
All I thought was like, I spent so much money on this tuxedo, I better win. I look like James Bond. I need to win. Even if I come third, I'm going up and getting the award. But I just remember, like, 3 or 4 years ago, I took over the subject, and it was literally a blank canvas, and it was just inadequate. And we was getting about 15% on 25 meters, and last year I managed to get 74%, which I'm really
Wow.
chuffed with.
Amazing.
But yeah, the recognition it was just like a weight off my shoulders. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Yeah, but what an amazing thing! What an amazing day it was.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
made
it
they
was.
made you feel really special. It felt a bit like the it felt like a bit like the Oscars. That you can imagine the
yeah.
Oscars are being like, you see that.
I mean, I've got so much respect for Swim England, the business as well. Like, I liaise with Lorna Goldie a lot. I was lucky to go to Elevate a couple months ago, and I was a guest speaker there talking about sinking ship or silver bullet about school swimming. So yeah, there's some good stuff, and obviously we talk a lot to do about active learning time as well, which is very, very important. So I would like to go into a bit of an open discussion about primary school swimming and maybe just a snippet of secondary school as well, if you don't mind. I'm going to dive straight into the secondary school bit. Actually, we have a 2-year system, proper intense, use the school swimming charter, swimming the school swimming charter. And what I've done, I've stretched it out and made it a 2-year curriculum. Now, here's the sad thing that I hear from some of my pupils, ex-pupils, sorry, is that you put all this energy in and you want them to, the main goal is try and get them passed on their free outcomes by the time they finish year 6. And so often I speak to some year 7 pupils and they go, doesn't really happen in secondary school now. We don't really do that much. We don't really put that much effort in. So you get them all ready and then it disappears. Have you noticed a difference in the transition from 6 to 7 and it fades away? Or is this just my pupils, ex-pupils? Tracy?
I think we've just had a Swim England swim school check, and they've used us as a bit of a test to work it all out, and it really highlighted. I mean, we don't do secondary schools in school swimming; we only do primary. But
Yeah.
a lot of the primary school swimmers do swim with us privately as well. But as soon as they sort of get to that sort of 11, 12, 13 years old, it drops off. And I think that parents see that they can swim down the pool, they can swim 10 metres, and the kids then at that age are more interested in playing computer games or going out with their friends, that they have more. I think the parents just give up. Whereas when
Yeah.
they're younger, it's a case that you've got to go lessons, you've got to be able to swim. And I think, like I say, the kids lose interest. I think that's the main thing, but trying to keep them interested is a big thing.
Of
Yeah,
course, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And this is where you've got to try your very, very best. Is that by the time they finish year 6, is that there's 2 things that I'm looking for children to do as the swim leads. I want them to really focus on every single lesson. We are giving 100%, and we're trying to progress constantly. And the second thing is I want them to have that love and passion for the subject, because I think that's as important, because without love and passion for the subject, they won't carry on. And that's all I can do is try my very best to get them to year 7 level and just see what happens from there, because it's a life skill. It's a really important skill. And the same with the PE side. It's about me teaching them all these skills that they can carry on later on in life, because physical activity is so important.
We
Health.
yeah,
have just added on extra, well, new teenage beginners lessons. So, and we sort of contacted we're just in the process of contacting the senior schools, saying, we have got the beginner lessons for older children, rather than, because generally if you get to sort of 8, 9, well, 10, 11, 12, and you can't swim, if you go to a swim school and say, I want to go, I want to learn to swim, if you don't have a private lesson, they end up in a stage 1 with 4 and 5 years old, and it can be quite disconcerting. So we've added extra lessons on aimed at older children, so don't have to teach, going that. And obviously it's that keeping their interest later. That's why we've done aqua athletes, so that if they're bored they don't want to do the stages and the swimming up and down, and that they can do different stuff and hopefully keep the fire burning on their love of swimming.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Joe, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go a bit more into the primary side. So you talk about that your curriculum is learn to swim, the stages 1 to 7. Could you just give me a little bit of a breakdown what the learn to swim entails with stages 1 to 7?
So we teach right from 6 weeks old, because we've got a really warm pool, we've got a hydro pool as well, right through to stage sevens. We try, there's not so many in stage 7. Like Tracy said, they sort of tail off towards the end. But there's a lot in dads and mums and babies. That always seems to be full with our parent and child classes. And then when they're ready, 3 and above, they go in the water independently without their mum or dad. And then I think what helps is we only have small class sizes as well. So that child gets that little bit more attention than rather being in a class of 12. So we could have 12 non-swimmers, can't you? So our red hats have 5 in, and then the orange hats have 6. It goes up by 1 by that. Sometimes our green hats have got if we have to got quite a few, like may have 7 or 8 in there, but they're swimming by then. Green hats, they're in deep water. So the aim of the goal, the children always like to collect all the badges, but also it's financial side, isn't it? With mum and dad, like Tracy said, when they get mum and dad see them swimming, they sort of think, oh, we'll stop now, you can swim. But it's not, like you said, it's water safety. That's so important, isn't it? The stamina side of it.
Yeah, definitely. Actual primary schools use your business as well. So what kind of how many children will you have there? Because I know you talk about your different levels of groups, but how many children will come there? Will it be class of 30, or what will it be like?
We have, I think we have 9 primary schools that do curriculum school swimming with us.
Yes.
That we follow the school charter with them in the
Oh, the
school.
school
So
swimming charter, same
yeah,
as
we
me.
follow the school swimming charter with the primary schools in the as curriculum swimming. We've got one of our senior teachers is the primary school lead, and she deals with all the school swimming. Pretty much teaches the majority of them as well. And we follow the school charter, give the certificates out. So yeah, so we do the same.
Oh, fantastic! And the thing about with school swimming, the thing that I think that's quite challenging is that anything could happen on that day. You could have 2 or 3 that are phoning sick. You could have a brand new child. You could have a child who's just come from a different country. You have to literally adapt us as a teacher, a swimming teacher. And I feel for me personally, is that you have great depth, you have expected, you have working below, and you have working towards. But I think there's so many variations of great depth. I think there's so many variations expected, and so on and so on. I think there is so many bits and bobs of everything, because I could have a really high child and I could have someone even higher than that child. That you really have to adapt to us. Do you think? Do you feel like you get what I'm coming from for that as a primary school swimming teacher?
I think that you pretty much, like you say, you grade them really. I suppose you've got a class of 30 that have an hour swimming lesson, book an hour in the pool, and split them into 3 groups probably to try and do the beginning, middle, and higher stages. But then the teachers decide halfway through the term that the lower group can't swim at that time, so half of them come with the higher group, half come with the lower group, and then each week a different group turning up together. And I like to say you have to think on your toes a lot of the time.
You do.
Just deal with, like you said, a lot of the time you just have to deal with what's in the pool at that time. And especially, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed the level of children that have got additional needs is increasing year on year, and that also comes into the equation of your lesson as well. You've got to adapt that in there as well.
It's becoming more and more in mainstream, 100%. Yeah, over the last couple of years alone. Joe, if you went over to a primary swimming lesson, and this is the same for you as well, Tracy. Start with you first, Joe. If you went to a primary swimming lesson and you're looking for best practice, what kind of things would you be looking for?
Well, we have a policy where there's no jewellery, and that sometimes it's a bit of a challenge. So if they've got religious bracelets, we let them cover them up with sweatbands. but no jewellery, earrings. It includes nothing round their neck. Sometimes they want to wear things around their neck, religious braids. So a fitted swimsuit, and we provide all our school swimming with a free swim hat before they even get in the water. So it just makes that a bit easy for them, because mum and dad are not going to have to buy a hat, or so we provide the hat, don't we? Swim with Joe, and we give them a little talk. Really, we sort of say to them at the beginning, look, we're teaching you swimming, yeah, but we want you to enjoy it. Ask us any questions, and we sort of start off with a bit of a game, like Simon Says, sort of get them on your side a bit, like Simon Says, blow bubbles, and you can sort of win them over if you've also got to bring yourself down to their level and think about how they're feeling.
Tracy, anything from yourself?
Yeah, I think it's just involving. We teach a lot by fun. We believe a lot that the children learn if it's a fun lesson. So they learn by games. We do lots of Olympic game sports while we're in the pool. Really getting them to do things that we need them to do to learn to swim without realising that they're actually doing it. Like, going through hoops and, pushing and gliding through the hoops when they think that they're going into a black hole, or, so we try and keep it very applicable to the time of year. So we've just had Halloween, we've had pumpkins in the pools where, and also it's trying to do that cross curriculum as well. Do the pumpkins float? Do they sink? What do you do with the pumpkin? That sort of thing. We've been trying. I know Lisa, who's our primary school lead, she's been trying to look at the cross curriculum and trying to bring that in. But yeah, so whatever works with that group, whatever keeps them happy and gets them swimming is what we'll do. It's safe.
Well, it's so true. What I do is I just put a primary PE teacher's head on into my swimming, and just slightly tweaking games feels so different for the children. I was saying just recently, like stuck in the mud, I call it stuck in the water. So when you when you tag the child and they're frozen, you just do a streamlined pencil float underneath their arms, or for adapting it a bit lower, you just do hold the high five and blow bubbles for 3 seconds, or whatever I'm actually teaching them. We just bring that in, because what they don't realise is that the kids are having so much fun, but I'm over there doing assessments at the same time. They don't realise I'm doing it. It's so effective.
What's the time, Mr. Shark, is one of our favourites.
Yeah.
What's this game? Sorry.
What's the time, Mr. Shark?
What's the time, Mr. Wolf? You do what's the time, Mr. Shark?
Yes, of course, yeah.
So they love that, because then they get, they're swimming back. Without even realising they're swimming, and then you've always got that one child that you're like, oh my God, they're swimming.
Sure.
Well, I wanted to talk about active learning time, because active learning time is something that's vastly important, where with school swimming, that unfortunately you do see some deliveries where a child they've done 2 whips in half an hour, and they are just waiting and waiting. Joe, what kind of tools could I bring into my teaching locker to try and get the active learning time nice and high, to go and do loads of whips or be as active as possible?
So you could get a helper in the pool, a young helper that wants to help you out, and mentor them by the side of you. As long as they're under your instruction and they're sensible, you could get another swimmer going across as well.
Peer on peer is so effective.
It's
brilliant. So I call them mini teachers in my lesson. And my mini teachers are so good, because I had a child actually pass another child 25 metres because they were so close, and they passed them because they taught them it. It's brilliant, because obviously I do my clear demonstration, but I think that peer and peer is one of the best things I have. Trace, is anything else that you could throw into the teaching locker that will really help with the active learning time?
I think it's just keeping them moving. I think I know some of the similar things as would cross over with our own lessons. If you're trying to encourage independent learning, there's no reason why, if you're concentrating on that one child swimming without any noodles, there's no reason why the other 5 children, 10 children don't do the same thing with the noodle, and then you change them over one at a time to swimming with not the noodle, and then the other children are still swimming backwards and forwards and practicing their leg kick, but or blowing bubbles or whatever you've got them doing, but they're still swimming while you're concentrating on that child doing it independently. And then, as I say, that works really well, I think, and it just keeps them. And I also find the more active you keep them, the better behaved they are, because they're constantly entertained. If they're standing around at the side of the pool waiting to do something, they're going under and they're doing and then you end up getting all angry because they're not doing what you want to do. Whereas if you just say, right, let's swim again, they hopefully come out shattered.
Yeah.
So true. I'm a big fan of the formations as well. I do cannons, I do ability groups, I do all that kind of stuff. Waves. I bring that in, and for me, I'm always, as a teacher, I always try and think about prevention and trying to get them going and going and going. Like you said, if I get them moving, the behaviour is going to be extremely good. They're going to be absolutely exhausted when I drop them off for the other teacher, but I've done my bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Water safety code. You talked about it briefly earlier on. For some people who aren't in the know, start with you, Joe, and then obviously move on to yourself, Tracy. The water safety code. What are the 4 steps?
You've got to stay together. You've got to shout for help. If you do fall in, you've got to do a star float. Never go swimming on your own. Always walk holding a hand. If you're walking by a river, hold an adult's hand and dial 999 as soon as you can. And just think about that massive bit of stretch of water. The different times of year, that water is so cold and our bodies cannot cope with it. Whereas, you see dogs and cats going swimming, but they've got a fur coat on and they're going to survive in that cold water. We're not going to survive on there. We've got no fur on our bodies.
Anything else, Tracy?
I know. I mean, obviously, because I've delivered it, goodness knows how many times to goodness knows how many schools. It's stop and think. Is it safe to get in the water? Stay together.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't. If you've got children with you, keep them in arm's length. Don't go swimming on your own. Make sure you tell somebody where you're going and what time you're going to be back. If you do fall in, float and breathe until you can catch your breath, and then either swim to the side or shout for help. And then obviously the 4th one is call 999. And if you see somebody in trouble, you don't jump in and save them. You call 999 and then talk them through trying to keep them calm.
It's such an important message where it could save someone's life. Tracy, here's one for you. Why don't, if someone's in trouble, why don't we go in the water and try and save them?
Because then you've got 2 people in trouble. So you're going to be more help to that person if you don't get in, because you can throw them something to hold on to. You can call 999. You can get help. You can, when the emergency services come, where that person's, if they're in trouble, where they've gone down. Or whereas if you jump in,
2 people to save.
2 people are in trouble, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, we're obviously qualified rescue teachers and done lifeguard training, and the last thing you do is get in yourself. It is, but when you do teach children and you do say that and you say to them, "Oh, you're going to jump in and save them," and they all go, "Yes," and you're like, "No."
Yeah,
that's so true.
you can use when you, like Tracy was saying, if you talk to somebody, you could probably get them to kick their legs to the side.
Yeah.
But if you've jumped in and saved them, you're then in difficulty yourself. It's going to be minutes. You've got your voice on you, the voice that you carry around with you all the time. You could get somebody to do anything in an emergency. So use that voice productively and get them to kick their legs to the side. And you could save their life just by talking to them, just reassuring them, and just keeping them calm, and then getting them to the side and getting them out.
Fantastic. Very, very informative information. I was saying to the children, said one thing that I wouldn't do is I would go, oh my God, kick to the side, oh my God. We have to speak to them, coach it through. If I speak to them in a calm manner, they'll be nice and calm as well. But it tells you, like, if I say to them, God forbid, I hope this never happens to you. But if somebody is in there, a family member, a friend, or even a stranger, that adrenaline will kick in and you will be in control in that situation. I hope nobody is in that situation, but that person on the side, they will find that leadership, they will find that clear communication. And yeah, so that's something that I bring in quite a lot. I bring in the huddle position quite often, the help position. And I don't know why my huddle position is always the Titanic story. I don't know why. There's a massive iceberg in my pool. And obviously we do, the reach rescue is extremely important because with my pool, the pool is very high up the side. So when I do my dry, I purposely make sure that they are nice and flat on the floor because most pools will be like that. As is very high up. It's very high up. It's very different. And another thing I said to them as well is like, if you stand in the water and you hold on to the stick, what's going to happen? They're going to pull you in. So make sure you're on the outside. So just little tweaks like that. Massive thank you for both of you being on. Honestly, I've been watching you guys from afar and I'm very, very impressed. And for you to come on to my podcast, I'm so appreciative. Now, before we do finish off, is there any upcoming events or can we find you on our social media?
Swim with Joe. If you search us on Facebook or Instagram, our website, swimwithjo.co.uk. What things have we got coming up, Joe? We must have...
We've just opened Bosworth Academy Pool and Ives Head, 2 25-metre pools. So we're excited about that. We've got the teenager class there. Tammy's our partner. She's just passed her trainer assessor course, so she could teach lifeguards now.
Fantastic.
Tracy is yeah. Tracy's
just started training to be a tutor, so we can start training our own lifeguards and our own teachers in house. So that's our next challenge, isn't it? And I say Joe's doing this joined up. Is it joined up?
Yeah, joined up. Joined up.
So she's getting herself out in the community, trying to G up everybody into.
So if they want to become a swimming teacher or work for us.
Wherever we go, Joe, we could be standing in a queue for a coffee, in a toilet, wherever, and Joe's going to the person in front of him. Oh, can you swim? Do you want to? Everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, she manages to get somebody. We were in the butcher's the other day, and she got the when we were in the butcher's, the man behind the butcher. Oh, can you not swim? Come give us a. They've been swimming with us now.
Yeah. This policeman, he's swimming with us now. He can't swim, and his children. He brings his children. He was the one that Johnny Smith. He put us in touch because you have to be accepted in to go to this youth sup, and he put us in contact with it, and he's having swimming lessons with us now.
Oh, fantastic! Getting everyone involved.
Yeah.
So swimwithjo.co.uk, and you're on Instagram. Are you on Facebook as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for both coming on. I really appreciate it, and I wish you all the very best in a few weeks' time. And fingers crossed, 2 years in a row for you guys at the Nationals.
We might see you there then. Are you going to be there this year?
No, I haven't signed up this year. I haven't signed up.
Oh no!
I didn't sign up.
We could have drank a glass of champagne. We could have drank another glass of champagne together.
Yeah, could do. I'll have to hide that tuxedo for another day. Actually, to be fair, I need to lose a few pounds before I can get back in that tuxedo. But thank you guys. I appreciate your time anyway.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for taking time to listen to my podcast. You can find all the episodes on YouTube, Primary P Lead Sam Horton, or on my Spotify Primary P Lead podcast.